So welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to do some experimentation, and this is with the Winsor & Newton Watercolor granulation medium. It's a while since I've used this medium, and I've just been looking at some Daniel Smith paints, the mineral range, and I've been really inspired by some of the amazing granulation. Now I know that if I work down with some of those earth colours, which I've done in the past, I can get quite good effects by using granulation. I just wanted to sort of just have a little experiment really. So I'm just going to throw some water on here, just some clear water. Just pop it in there. This is a number 12 round brush. I've just picked up some raw umber. Just going to drop this in and just see what happens. Not going to be too precise about it. This is just an experimentation. A painting might come out of it, who knows. And then I've got some of this granulation mix, which I'm just going to pop in here and see what happens. That's quite a lot, but we'll see. Let me start to experiment. What happens next? So let's just get some lighter tones in. This is just going to be a sort of wet into wet, and I just want to see how this is affecting the granulation. See how this works. This is running down. A few specks of white in there, and that's really granulating nicely actually. Yeah, I like that. Let's pop in some more pigment. That should blend and bleed in with the rest. Nice granulation happening over there. Bit of a run here, let's just sort that out, but still granulating nicely. This is on a slight slope. While that's doing that, just going to pop in some ultramarine. Just let that do its own thing. And run down. And this guy's own granulation, as we know. Just touching in some water so that it just runs in quite lightly into there. I'll just warm it up with some of this burnt sienna. Obviously quite similar to the raw umber. Just let it do its own thing. So I'm going to wait for that to dry, and I shall return. So I don't particularly want those. This is Saunders Waterford paper, £140 rough. And that's going to be a while before this dries, so just now we'll leave it alone and let it do its own thing. So welcome back. We're dry now. This paper's buckled quite a lot, but I know from experience that it will flatten itself out. So really nice effects in there. I've gone back into this granulated mix, and it's the raw umber added with some neutral tint, and neutral tint's great to pop in because it kind of darkens down the original colour. So thought I'd pop in the roof. Let's go in with a smaller brush. I think I've said it before about these brushes. The only thing that really annoys me about these Oscoda brushes is the way that if you're keeping your brush in your water, it kind of seems to run up and collect inside. There's a small hole here to let the water out. There's actually a travel brush that goes inside for travelling, but it gets full of water, which is pretty annoying sometimes. Let's just go straight into the neutral tint here with this small brush. You have to decide which way you want the light to come. Is it the light coming this way? Is it coming from the left? Is it coming from the right? Is it coming from this way? It's a kind of decision. This is all now sort of blending down, which actually is quite nice. So we've got some dry brushwork going on here. It's really bizarre doing this because I haven't got a source in front of me. I'm not sure what I'm doing, which will be interesting when we get down here, won't it? I'm going to run this off just in this foreground, and we'll suggest some lines coming in here. We'll preserve some of the first wash under it as well. Raw umber is such a beautiful colour to paint with, and obviously now we've added some neutral tint to give it a bit more impact. And remember, there's also this granulating medium that's in there as well, which is adding some beautiful effects. I now need to think about some more buildings. This is still slightly damp. I don't want to lose the light that we have in this already, but I just want to pop these in as shadows, and I think I might change the colour because they're probably a little bit too warm. Let's come back into this some of these blue mixtures that I have here. That's a bit better. Just suggest some buildings going back. Just going to get things joined up so nothing's out in isolation. Let's get a finer control with a smaller brush. Pop some roofs in as well. I need to join in this here, so now's the time not to hang about. And I have this going all the way across, although I'm going to go for a bluer mixture here. This is quite a small brush to be doing this. Let's go in with this larger one. It's a number 6. The one I was using before was a number 2 Oscoda. Really nice that we've got this burnt umber mixture sort of bleeding through. This cobalt blue I'm popping in here just to suggest something back here. I'll just get rid of those chinks of white there just to, there we go. I'm not really sure what all of this is. It's some beautiful colours on. We're just having a little experiment, as you know. Painting like this is how you discover things. There's no pressure. I've not got a source in front of me. I'm just kind of making it up. Just trying to create some shapes, really. And as we do, we can watch and see what happens to various mixes. Back to the neutral tint there, just to darken down some of these tones. When this is dry, we'll get a completely different effect, but still we've got quite a lot of granulation going on. One thing I am going to do though, before we go any further, I'm just going to soften off down here. I need to take out quite a lot of the liquid to soften this off a bit. Sure how this has lost its edge, but it has. But we can just pop that back in there. I'm going to flick in some highlights now on my fingers because it just feels like the right thing to do. Having problems with my palette. There we go. Stay boy. There we go. Just to pop in some of those there. And take out a few things with my fingers. I love the way this is sort of painting itself here. I'm going to pop in a slightly warmer mixture whilst it's still wet. This is alizarin crimson just in here. Just touch that in lightly. Now I'll help push this back. Another beautiful colour. And we can see that the way that the raw umber underneath is dried in a kind of buff type colour, which is lovely. I won't do this everywhere because it's starting to get a bit pretentious, but a touch of ultramarine. Just give a little bit of variation here. We'll still let that kind of paint itself. The other thing we'll do is we'll take some tissue and just dab away some of these edges so it's not all sharp everywhere. Really not sure what this is. It looks a little bit like a sort of church building in the Middle East or something. Okay, we'll wait for this to dry.